You know, the Internet of Things, or IoT, is absolutely everywhere. It's connecting our world in ways that, frankly, felt like science fiction just a decade ago. But here's the thing. Behind every one of those smart devices, there's this hidden reality, a total chaotic tangle of systems that just don't talk to each other. Today, we're going to look at a new platform that's trying to bring some serious order to that chaos.
So what's this number? 20% plus. That's the annual growth rate for IoT platform as a service. Look, that's not just growth, that is an absolute explosion. And that is where the real opportunity in IoT is right now.
And it's not just about the gadgets, the hardware. The real action, as this bit of market research puts it, is that the software platform is the rocket ship. We are talking about a market that's set to leap from around $90 billion in 2024 to, get this, over $300 billion by 2030. That is a massive paradigm shift.
Which brings us right to our first section, the IoT gold rush. And just like any gold rush, yeah, it promises huge rewards, but the landscape is absolutely full of pitfalls for anyone who isn't prepared.
But with all that opportunity comes one central massive problem. Let's call it the Wild West of the Internet of Things. It's a place where every new device you add just adds another knot to this tangled web of complexity. It makes these systems a total nightmare to build and to manage.
And this chaos, it's real. I mean, think about it. You've got an overwhelming number of vendors to choose from. Trying to keep everything secure with patches, it's a constant headache, and sometimes it's just impossible. Every single project guarantees you're taking on technical debt. That's a problem you're going to have to pay for later. And to top it all off, vendors can just vanish, leaving you with useless hardware. It's a mess, a fragmented ecosystem with basically no standards.
For anyone who's actually built one of these systems, this quote just hits different. It's so true. You're not starting a project fresh. You're starting with digital duct tape, what we call glue code. Just trying to cobble together a bunch of different systems and hoping, praying that your vendors are still in business next year.
And all of that leads to a place we call integration hell. Seriously, just imagine trying to stitch together 5, 10, maybe even more different vendor APIs just to get one single solution to work. It's fragile, it's incredibly time-consuming, and it is a perfect recipe for pure frustration.
Then there's this little gem, the EOL ambush. EOL means end of life. This is when a vendor you totally depend on suddenly announces they're killing a product. Or maybe they're just going out of business. All of a sudden, your whole system is at risk, and you're left scrambling to find a replacement. It's a total ambush.
And finally, you get support whiplash. Something breaks. You call vendor A, they blame vendor B points the finger at vendor C, and while they're all playing the blame game, your system is down, your business is hurting, and your team is taking all the heat. It is a support nightmare.
And you know what? This pain is universal. The system integrators, the people building this stuff, they're suffering. Their profit margins are bleeding out, and they're drowning in dashboards and contracts. And then the end customers, their staff turns into accidental IT support, slow fixes cost them real money, and hidden costs just keep piling up. In this situation, nobody wins.
Okay, so after all that chaos, how in the world do you fix it? Well, you bring a sheriff to the Wild West. This next part is all about the solution, a platform that is designed from the ground up to bring order, standards, and simplicity to the whole IoT mess.
So what is Global Channel Resources, or GCR? Think of it like a unifying layer. It's a platform as a service, but it doesn't actually make the devices. Instead, it finds and curates the best ones, it connects them all securely, and it streamlines the entire process, from buying the thing to getting support for it, for everyone involved.
And the core promise? It's beautifully simple. Instead of 10 different contracts and 10 different support numbers, you get one subscription, one service level agreement, and one single platform to manage the whole shebang. It's simplification on a radical level.
But look, a solution is only good if it actually works for everybody. So let's break down exactly how a unified platform like this solves the unique problems for each of the key players in this super fragmented market.
All right, let's start with the folks who actually make the devices, the IoT vendors. What if you could just focus on what you do best, building amazing hardware, and let a trusted platform handle all the messy stuff like distribution, billing, and global support?
For vendors, this is a game changer. They get immediate global exposure to serious enterprise buyers. They get listed in a curated marketplace where their stuff is already verified for quality and security, which builds instant trust.
Their devices suddenly become compatible with a whole ecosystem of other products, and getting paid from anywhere in the world becomes completely painless.
Okay, now let's talk to the builders, the system integrators, and the managed service providers. What if you could stop doing all that painful glue work we talked about, and instead you could manage your entire delivery chain, from ordering parts to deploying and supporting them, all from one single dashboard?
For the integrators, the benefits here are just huge. They can deploy solutions way faster using pre-vetted kits. This directly protects their profit margins because it gets rid of all that custom, low-value integration work. Support becomes simple with one ticketing system, and they actually boost their own credibility by selling a portfolio of solutions that are already proven to work together securely.
And finally, we get to the most important group of all, the end customers, the businesses that just want their tech to work, period. What if your entire collection of smart devices, your entire IoT estate, could be unified, secured, and put completely under your control, without all the vendor lock-in and complexity?
For the customer, what this all boils down to is peace of mind. One AI-powered dashboard replaces a dozen different logins. They get what's called lifecycle assurance, meaning GCR is tracking security patches and end-of-life warnings for them. And maybe most importantly, they have one single accountable partner to call when something goes wrong.
So, where does this all lead? That brings us to our final section, the future, simplified. We've seen the huge problem of fragmentation, and we've seen the elegant solution of a unified platform. So now, let's just take a quick look at the practical steps to make this a reality and what it really means for the industry.
Well, a big idea needs a smart plan, right? The go-to-market strategy here is really methodical. It's a classic crawl, walk, run approach. It starts in the first 18 months by perfecting a solution for just one industry. In this case, retail and Taiwan, to create a proven, repeatable playbook. Then it expands to another vertical, like manufacturing, to prove the model isn't just a one-trick pony. And finally, after 24 months, it scales into a full, self-serve marketplace for vendors and certified integrators. Smart.
And that really leaves us with one critical question to think about. As our world keeps filling up with more and more connected devices, the complexity is only going to get worse. So, is a curated, unified platform like this not just a good idea, but maybe the only sustainable way forward for the Internet of Things? It's definitely something to chew on.